if the marches have disrupted classes yet.
Good morning to you, Renee. Well, we are actually standing with the students just in front of lecture halls where we know that classes were underway. So the students managed, of course, to disrupt the academic activities there. We have seen them taking out students that were, going on with academic activities in the classes. And of course, we saw, police taking a retreat, in terms of trying not to provoke the students, because I believe they're just trying to avoid what we saw last week in terms of violence. But earlier on, of course, we saw students being intervened or being confronted by police with stun grenades. And at this stage, we haven't seen such. And by the way, this is a larger group compared to what we saw earlier on this morning. So at this point in time, students are actually moving around the campus and try to disrupt the academic activities. I have to say that they have successfully managed to do that. Now what remains to be seen is to hear from the management of Wits as to whether or not the university will be closed for 2016. And that means consequences will be there, Renee. We know that the university actually said that if the university shuts down or closes this year, then the 2016 academic program will be carried over to 2017. That means the 7,000 students that are supposed to be enrolled next year will now have to wait. So this protest today here is just a determination for whether or not this institution will be closed. So it just remains to be seen what the university's decision will be. But at this point in time, the situation is very tense. Students, the protesting students, have been going to classes, disrupting the academic activities here. As we know that the academic activities started today. So we also managed to walk around the shops on campus. They are still closed. There's no shop running here. So it just remains to be seen exactly, Renee, what the management position will be later today. But at this point in time, students, those who are protesting, are shutting down. And they have so far successfully managed to do that.
Now, Mageketla, we see there's a very large police presence on campus. Are they evacuating students? Are they evacuating the campus?
I beg your pardon?
We see the visuals coming through from the campus. There's a very heavy police presence.
Yes.
Are they evacuating the campus currently?
Well, not yet. So we understand that staff members, of course, they are still here. So even though the students have actually been disrupting the academic program, we understand that staff members are still here, and of course, police are still here in large numbers. So we will just see. We don't know what the discussion is behind the closed doors by the police. We don't know what the commandments are by the police. We don't know when the stun grenades will be shot at the protesting students, because we heard earlier on, Renee, that the students are not even allowed to gather on the main campus. They are not even allowed to see. They are not even allowed to gather in a group of more than two. So at this point in time, as I said earlier on, the group that we have right now is just larger than that we saw earlier on this morning. But at this point in time, the academic activities have been disrupted. So we will just see what happens as the day goes on. We will be monitoring the situation, and of course the visuals will be coming through a bit later on. So we'll just be monitoring the situation, Renee, and bring you that live update.
Well, thank you very much, Mageketla. That's our reporter reporting live from Wits. Now, we seem to have a couple of comments. That's your views on the situation today. And we have London Tabang, who says, at SABC Newsroom, definitely maybe if we as students could shut down varsities, then the government will hear our cry. I certainly think the government is listening to you. And Tabisile says some of these people are not even students. They're just there only to fulfill their political vendettas. So sad. Yes, there are some accusations of that, political interference. And we see here Tabang says, I have a feeling these fees must fall protests will get even worse. Lives are at stake now. No strategy to deal with protests.
Well, it seems there's quite a lot happening out in at Wits, in fact, across the country. Seems like a lot of people actually have got opinions, and some of them a little more boisterous than others.
I think this is quite a crucial point in this Fees Must Fall marches. We see these students, they're not backing down. They're standing on their point, and they're saying, we want fees to decrease, we want free education.